Shackles inside, they wanna see me because my music bumping, my skin black, tattoos all over my sleeves. I've been stereotyped my whole life to be a drug dealer, a thief, but my intellect is their biggest threat and they hating that for no reason. Orange jumpers and iron shackles inside, they wanna see me because my music bumping, my skin black, tattoos all over my sleeves. I've been stereotyped my whole life to be a drug dealer, a thief, but my intellect is their biggest threat and they hating that for no reason. Every time I hit a job interview to try to better myself, I gotta change the way I speak. I can't walk with the rhythm of a soulful man because a thug is all they see. I get stopped by the laws because my reel's big and my tit doesn't offer a peek. Coming to my window, gripping a pistol like you're trying to end me before I speak. When it's gonna stop? My people getting dropped by the cops like the color of my skin is a crime. No right to fair trial. Just gunning my brothers down, it's a problem. I'm also Michael Brown. So you trying to tell me I don't stand a chance because I'm Sandra Bland? Or I alarm you because I'm Eric Garner? Can't hustle because I'm out in Sterling? Can't rock the hoodie because I'm Trayvon Martin? Fuck that, motherfuckers got no chill. Look what they did to Philando Castile. Can't even legally carry, conceal. And in front of a kid, what's the deal? Unfair in America, slow us down with no cash and cheap drugs. Gonna be some backlash in this world, bruh. Time to open up your eyes or we'll stay stuck. Orange jumpers and iron shackles inside, they wanna see me because my music bumping, my skin black, tattoos all over my sleeves. I've been stereotyped my whole life to be a drug dealer, a thief, but my intellect is their biggest threat and they hate.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? You are here chopping it up with Q. I am your gracious host, Q Simp. I go by either one, it doesn't matter. And your boy is actually going to be in here solo today, man. You know, Misha and the homie Pitt, they had some things come up. So, hey, man, you know what? The show must go on. I did miss a week already, so we're trying to get back on schedule here in the building. So, first of all, I just want to thank anybody who is tuning in. Repeat listeners. Anyone who is new, hey, I appreciate it. You didn't have to spend time with me, but you're here to hear what I got to say. And, hey, that's enough. And I just want to say thank you for that. Actually, before I get started, I actually want to give a couple of shout-outs, to a couple other podcasters, a couple other people who actually been showing a lot of support. It's going to be a fairly long list. Hopefully, I don't miss anybody. If I do, I'm sorry. I apologize. But so we're going to start off with, you see, we got the Grime Lords. We got the Good Morning Beautiful podcast. I've been chopping up with those sisters on Twitter. Yeah, big ups to y'all. Also appreciate the shout out on your show, and it was me who was talking about the Deflategate or deflated titties as being very offensive when it comes to breastfeeding. That was me. So also got the podcast brothers. Those brothers been actually doing a lot of shares and been doing a lot of support. Drinking Partners just chopped it up with the homie Geronimo, so me and him gonna chop it up a little bit more. We got the Jazz podcast, Grown Folks Talk. We Come From Queens, Real and Raw podcast, the John Effect podcast. He's always supporting. Big shout outs to John, and Podcast Queens, and the Grown Ass Man Hip Hop Show. And so we also going to have some plugs. Before I even get started anything, I also have some plugs I want to put out there to a couple other people that I would like for y'all to go out and support if you're in the area. For another podcast I'll put out there, the Inside the Friend Zone podcast. There's a couple of classmates of mine, a couple old friends of mine from back in high school. They actually have a podcast here on SoundCloud, and that is Inside the Friend Zone podcast. Those dudes are actually pretty funny. They actually talk about a lot of things, you know, college days and things like that. So y'all go ahead, check them out. Go ahead, support those guys. Also, if you're in the Beaumont or Houston, Texas area, and this is actually perfect for those guys. You know, you finally got with that one chick, and she finally about to let you go ahead and dig her out, or just she finally gave you the time of day, but she talking about she hungry, or you got anything that she need to get, then you call my homies up at Gopher. That is the Gopher Personal Assistant. They also have an app on the Google Play. I'm not sure on Android, but I'm sure they probably transition over to Android as well. But this is a service that we provide, or that they provide, and they do food delivery service. I think they also have a lot of other things, but the main thing is food. You know, you don't want to go out, it's raining, or hell, you just bumming it up and you really don't want to feel like doing anything. You call these boys up, they go take care of it for you. And from last time I checked, I think it was only like a $5 charge. You can't beat that. You're going to burn that in gas anyway. So, hey, y'all hit those boys up. The website is wegopher.com. That is wegopher, GOFER.com. Y'all check that website out. Also, I got a couple other homies as well, classmates. If you're looking for some more shirts, a little bit in the fashion, some hats, male or female, I even got some children's clothes as well. Then you check out Co Society. That is Co Society, and the website is shopcosociety.com. Y'all check that out. And of course, the homie Pitt, who has pit409.com, where you can check out a lot of his music. His song is actually the one that we play on the intro. Dope rhymes, got bars. Y'all check the man out. He also does some animations as well. So now let's really get into all these different things that's going on, man. It's been a crazy week, especially we had the second half to this atrocity that we would like to call the political debates. Honestly, man, it was probably like a rap battle for the most part, because there's really nothing political really being talked about. So we're really just going at each other and see who could throw the most bars at one another. But one of the funny things that's actually starting to come out from the political side is DTZ, when he's talking about grabbing women by the pussy. Like, I never even heard of that term. It's like, I never just said, hey man, I just gotta grab this girl by the pussy. Know what I mean? That's never come out. Ass, alright. But the thing is like, yeah, it's inappropriate. If it's your girl, then hey, that's between y'all. But if you're talking about just randoms, there's certain things you can't do. And then I know they want to try to throw it off as locker room talk, but I never had that kind of talk in the locker room with fellas. That's just not one of the subject matters that has come up. I'm not a big kiss and tell guy. I mean, I may tell about some of my stuff on here, but I don't go into details. But that is funny. And then especially when you try to hear people when people try to justify what he has said because they feel it's being taken out of context, or, it's just locker room banter. That's just how men talk. It's like, no, it's not. Stop saying that. And let's really, let's be honest. Let's really, he has misogynistic thought process. Very sexist, and then I am too at times, and I sit there and say my sexist thoughts, or can't no girl beat me in any sport. It's not going to happen, but that's as far as it goes. I'm not going to say, hey, I'm finally just going to grab this girl and that's just going to be it, and she going to enjoy it every minute. But another thing that actually coming out of this is that you have a lot of supporters. I can't remember that one lady name, but she's a lieutenant governor. It's surprising that she actually held office at one point, because that means somebody voted for her to get in. But she gets on and she talks about how she wants to equate Hillary Clinton being a fan of Beyonce to Donald Trump's locker room talk. And I'm like, well, how do hip-hop lyrics or R&B lyrics equate to this man who actually talked about something that he has done that's not on the same playing field? And the fact is, it's like we're trying to throw scapegoats out there as the equivalent of, well, video games create violence. It's like, no. Crazy people who play video games create violence. Yeah, I give you that. But I mean, hey man, I'm a hip hop fan, so I'm gonna defend it. Now, I'm not saying that everything in hip hop is golden or great, but I'm like, there's a personal responsibility that has to go along with that as well. So let's stop trying to make excuses and reasons, because I find it very funny when people try to defend Donald Trump, but it's gonna happen. It seems like I don't know what's going on with that. It's hilarious, and of course, social media has been going in on it all day. I actually had a couple of jokes, but I don't want to be too inappropriate on here. But so let's go ahead and move on as well. So let's go on a lighter note. So we got a couple sports things talking about. So the San Francisco 49ers actually finally decide to stop bullshitting and let Colin Kaepernick play, because Blaine Gabbert is trash bag. He's always been trash bag. I don't even know why they even said he was going to be the starter. And I know they made up this reason saying, Cap wasn't ready yet, or physically ready. He just got off injury. Okay, that's fine. I give you that. But if Blaine Gabbert is your starting quarterback, you're pretty much tanking for the rest of the season. I hate to say it. We forget he is Blaine Gabbert, so he's going to show you who he is. But so they're finally going to let Cap in, and I'm actually looking forward to that. And I think he's going to do well. Well, at least I hope he does well. I hope he gets in and really starts lighting it up and playing back at least close to how he played back in 2012. I don't know if he's going to get back to that or not, but maybe he can get as close as possible, and therefore he can at least revitalize his career, and it may not be in San Francisco. I mean, I understand. I don't know how Chip Kelly feels about him, or especially with the protests going on and all that. So I don't know if he's going to have a career there prolonged, but as long as he's in there, I'm hoping that he does well, and I'm hoping that he could really, really put in some work, because, hey, I'm rooting for him. And I think they'll do all right, though. I think San Francisco, they're going through a lot of things that happened when they had about 6 or 7 people just leave the team, either retirement or got traded or whatever. So they're still rebuilding, but hopefully Cap does well. But another thing I also want to talk about is, it was on First Take. I think they were talking about Romo. And with Dak Prescott playing well, what does that really mean for Tony Romo? Is he going to keep his position? Will they allow him to be the starting quarterback again? I don't know. I personally believe that if the young man is hot, and by that I mean Dak Prescott, he's playing well. Especially last game, they played very well. I don't think you pull a guy when he's hot. If he has the hot hand, you don't pull that guy. And I know some people probably disagree, and I understand that Romo is here to be the starting quarterback. But let's be honest. That's how Tom Brady got started. That's how Kurt Warner got started. That's how a lot of guys got their starting jobs through injury. And I understand. I hate it. It's a part of the game, though. It's one of those things where you kind of just have to take it. So I'm one of those people who think if Dak's still playing well, then you continue to allow him to play. Now, if he starts screwing up around a certain point, then maybe we can look into transitioning Romo back in. But now we're going to have a guy who hasn't played almost 2 full seasons try to come back and be the starting quarterback and potentially, throw off the chemistry and everything. Because as of right now, they've been playing well. The offense has been, they're starting to score a lot more. They're no longer just taking field goals. So, in my opinion, you leave it as is. You don't fix it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But even though I'm not a fighting Jerry Jones fan, I'm actually happy because my team actually won, the Tennessee Titans, and screw anybody who got anything else to say about that. Yes, I am a Titans fan because I used to rock with the Oilers back in the day. But we going to be all right. But, other than that, man, I say you let Dak play until Dak shows some inconsistencies right now, Romo's 36. Has had, I want to say, 2 back injuries. And back injuries are very difficult to come because you can't, it's really hard to protect it, especially in football. You're going to get hit regardless. So I'm not saying it's time for Romo to retire because I don't think it's there, but I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work out, especially if you have a rookie who's coming in who potential is only up from there. I always thought Dak was pretty good even at Mississippi State. But anyways, so we now moving on from there. And I know this is a little different format. It's almost like a news segment now. But, hey, I'm by myself. It's all good. I'm being here rambling on the mic like I know what I'm talking about. So, Amber Rose, and y'all already know how I feel about hoes, whores, whatever. Man, men and women are both hoes, man. I think half of society are hoes. But she held what is the Slut Walk, and historically, the Slut Walk was different. From what my understanding is that it actually started off as a support for women who have gone through sexual abuse. Now, I'm all in for that. Yeah, sexual abuse in any way I feel is incorrect, but I do feel there should be some type of law that says your wife can't deny you. But that's another story. But I do look at it as it's confusing because, you have Amber Rose doing it, and you're like, you never really held, and I hate to say that, but you never really held Amber Rose as that person who's going to motivate you to do something positive. And maybe she's trying, I get it, but it's like, what do you really have bringing to the table? I mean, maybe I'm just wrong on this, but I'm like, when I see Amber Rose, I'm like, okay, she's the ghetto version of Kim Kardashian. She's exists. She's nothing really special. She exists. She got a bad, cold body. Yeah, I'll dip mine, but that's about it. That's as far as it goes. But as far as when it comes to being a whore or a whore in America, coming from I'll call myself this. I'm a rehabilitated whore. I was a man whore back in the day, and I did my dirt. I own up to it all the time. That's why I say I only have girls now, because I have to pay for past sins. But it's one of those things, and I'm one of those people, I'm not sure if I believe fully into slut shaming, because if you are happy being a slut, hoe, whatever you want to call it, male or female, then hell, embrace that shit. Say, hey, look, yeah, I'm a hoe, this is what it is. Because I personally believe I can't make you feel shame for anything you're proud of. If you're proud of being it, hey, that's you. What can I tell you? But another thing is, like, you also got to accept. To embrace your hoedom is also to accept the consequences of being a whore. Not everybody gonna be rocking for you like that. I can't go in and slay about 100 women and then say, hey man, shit, that was fun. Now I need to go get my life together. I want to get it together with you. Now I can say sometimes women are a little bit more forgiving, but ladies, don't tell no dude that. He gonna be like, well, stop. No, It's not happening. Why you want to get together with me? And it's hard to really tell, you know, and I understand, you know, it is a double standard. I believe it. But I always say it like this. I've never met a woman who had to work to get a man in the bed. Unless you really looking out here like really sad wire. But other than that, if you have some semblance of attractiveness, you're not forcing a guy to go to bed with you. Hell, half the time you just gotta show up. I'm not saying it's justified, but I'm saying the circumstances are a little bit different, in my opinion. And I understand, like, well, you know, but that's the only thing when it comes to the Amber Rose thing. It is confusing because it's like, what are you trying to embrace? Are you embracing the fact that yes, it is your body, you should be able to dress any way you want without any issues, or you're saying, hey, it's your body, you can give it up to whoever you want without any issue? I mean, I'm not really sure based on what I've seen. And maybe somebody, hit me in the comment section. Maybe I'm missing something, and we can chop it up about it. But it is one of those things. It's like, look, hoes exist. I think yes, men can be hoes, and we probably do a lot more. But I do realize it is seen as different because, like I said, my hoedom never affected if I can get married or not. It hasn't. I mean, maybe if I get a female on, she could probably tell a reason why some females can look past the dudes. So maybe it's because you think maybe he had something special. He was sought after. He had something on the table that got a lot of these women into him. Maybe it's something along those lines. I don't know. We'll have to chop it up with the females and see what y'all say about that, man. Y'all hit up the inboxes, the comment section as well. Let me know what's up on that. Does a man's hoedom affect if you want to be with him or not long term? Now, I do understand that some females get weary because they think, hey, once a hoe, always a hoe, so he gonna be fucking around with you, on you while you're together. And we had that discussion last time. It is kind of hard to keep a guy. You can't keep somebody from cheating on you, but it is very difficult to say no to new pussy. I'm sorry, it's hard. Like, especially if it's attached to something that's like bad. I mean, I remember I was talking to my wife the other day, and matter of fact, no, it was a while back when that whole teacher bae thing came up. I said, man, look, she's so cold, you gonna have to just understand. I mean, it is hard, especially if somebody like that run up on you and she like, hey, shit, come get this. You gonna look and you gonna be like, man, you might end up being like that dude on Harlem Nights calling up saying, hey man, I ain't coming home tonight. Y'all be easy. It's rough, man. It's kind of hard. And I just want females, man, look, it's so hard to really describe on what it's like. Especially if it's new. If it's new, it's like, you'll be like that kid who's opening up a new, you finally got that new, I'm going to say, let me show my age a little bit. But you finally got that N64 you wanted because it just dropped on Christmas and you just that excited. Now, of course, it wears down as time goes on because you got it. But once it's brand new, you're like, ooh, this shit's awesome. I get to unwrap it and it's going to be great. But, man, anyways, man, also, let's go ahead and talk on Kim K. So, allegedly, Kim K, she got hemmed up over in Paris. Was it Paris? Maybe I know it was in France. I don't remember exactly which city it was. But so she gets hemmed up and she gets robbed at gunpoint. Allegedly, based on the story, it was with some people who were dressed up as police officers, and they held her and some other person at gunpoint, took her ring, robbed her, and she thought she was going to get raped and all these other things. So there's been a lot of stories going on saying, I think on Media Takeout, they've actually been saying how the robbery was faked. So as a rebuttal to that, Kim K is actually suing Media Takeout over it. But my question would be, with Kim Kardashian or that whole Kardashian family, it's very, very hard. And I know it's fucked up. We shouldn't wish anything bad on anybody. Anybody getting robbed at gunpoint, that's not cool. Anybody who's getting assaulted or anything like that, that's not cool. But when you have a family that's built around controversy or built around these type of stories to help build themselves, it's very hard to have some empathy for them because you're assuming that they on some bullshit. Oh, this is another publicity stunt. Especially with the whole, her marriage thing or her marriage to Kanye or all these other things that come out. Especially going back to the Ray J video and how she tried to act like she was the victim in some cases, but then there were stories that she was the one that leaked the tape. I don't know. So and you don't want to feel that way about anybody. You want to feel that somebody's not being genuine with you in this type of subject matter, but Hey man, I don't know. Any Kardashians, you got to kind of understand the situation. Damn, I don't want to sound like that because it comes off as victim shaming. But there's a lot of things that has happened that caused people to kind of question a lot more the validity of your accusations. So, but other than that, man, I hope everybody is okay. And I know Kanye's position, I don't know how I would feel if I found out, the mother of my child, depends on which one we're talking about, but if I found out that she got held at gunpoint or something like that, I'll have to do like him and say, hey, look, I gotta go. So, man, other than that, so I'll go ahead and just talk. We did finally get to go to, so we finally went to the fair this weekend. It's actually been a crazy weekend. So we got to go to the fair. For the people who follow me on Instagram, I got to advertise our new shirts that we're going to actually hit up Comic-Con with. Yes, that's right. I am a giant nerd, so just got to get with it. But, excuse me. So, I got to actually show off the shirts, got to wear it around the fair. Also had to break my diet, man, so I got to get back in the gym heavy now, because after eating all that fried food, man, it was still good, but afterwards you were like, damn, I shouldn't have did that shit. But, anyways, another reason why this weekend was crazy, so my wife and I, we get into, I got a lot of questions for ladies today, man. It's like, I'm really under the impression that a lot of women are off their rocker. So, not to be in a misogynistic way or mean, but I'm gonna just illustrate something for you. So, it's funny because a buddy of mine told me the same type of story. So, everything was good. Like I said, we went to the fair. Everything was rocking. We were good. And then, the next day, I was supposed to go pick up my other daughter from her mom. And, I'm like, all right, so I got to go run down to this spot, go pick her up, and come on back. About 2.5 hours up the road or something like that. And she wants me to bring my daughter with, my oldest one. Or the youngest one, I'm sorry. But I'm like, well, why would I do that? She's not going to be doing anything. She's going to be rolling. Why would we do that? And she's like, oh, just because I want, you should spend time with her, this and that. But I'm like, but we're not spending time with each other. She's going to be riding in the car. And so, we have a little dispute there, and we have a little discussion, and of course I end up bringing her, because I'm like, man, fine, fuck it, whatever. And then, so the next day, everything was good. I had to go to the teacher-parent conference with my oldest, and after that, we got into it again, and I was like, what the hell? Where's all this shit coming from? I've dealt with that a lot. I was like, there's a lot of women that I've dealt with, and it's like, out the blue, everything's cool, and all of a sudden, you're mad. And it's like, okay, you're mad. For what exactly? What did I do wrong? And, of course, there's really no explanations. Or the explanation you get, you're like, but what? It's like, that didn't make any sense to me. And so, it's funny when I started looking at it, because my buddy had the same thing, and it was like, your girl will come at you, she's upset, she's venting to you, or she's venting to something that she wants you to look into, and you're like, what? But I don't get what you're saying, but fine. So, you go a whole day, and like, the whole day I went mad. I was like, man, that's some more bullshit, man, fuck that. I'm sitting there saying, look, I'm standing my ground this time, I ain't gonna cave. And then, of course, later on that day, she hits me up, and everything's cool. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So I was like, one thing I can say, lady, it could be confusing, man. So I wish I had some females actually come in, because I got a lot of questions. It's like, when it comes to women getting mad at their dudes, like, what is it really, like a lot of pent up aggression? Like, there's some things over time, and then all of a sudden you just lay it all out at once, or is it just some frustrations that come? I don't know, but it was interesting, man. That's all I can really say. Is I really didn't know how to approach that, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. So, but it's like, other than that, everything was cool. But it was funny, especially when my homeboy at work told me the same type of story, and that's why I told him, I was like, see, that's why I always say all women are crazy. It just depends on what level they are at. But I still love the ladies, man. I can never give them up, man. I can't see a world without them, because you're necessary. I mean, it's one of those things, you're necessary, and we love it when y'all are here, so I would never give it up. But, hey, man, y'all sometimes make it hard for a dude to be like, man, damn, now I'm being single forever. Fuck that. But then you sit back and you think about it, you like, all right, man, I'm kind of happy I'm out the dating game, man. I don't need to out there on this foolishness, but, yeah, man, other than that, so we will be at Comic-Con. I'm actually going to try to do some type of live something at Comic-Con coming up. And, the homie E is going to come down. If y'all check out our other show, E, he's kind of like the background guy, but he does have a lot of input as well. So he's going to actually he's coming up, and we're going to try to, try to promote our stuff a little bit more. And, it's going to be a work in progress, man. We're going to really try to push this program and this show and the other shows. And we're actually looking at adding a couple more. So we're going to actually work on that. Maybe even getting to working with a couple of these podcasters out there. Hey, man, look, I'm open to it. Y'all just let me know what's up. I get out there and talk some shit for y'all. But, man, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Just a little short one. But like I said, I had to put something out there. And, I missed about a week. So I need to go ahead and be a little bit more consistent with this. And we're going to get back on our regular broadcast time, which is about, 8 to 8:30, somewhere Central Time. But other than that, anybody who do want to get in contact with me, I am at QSimp05 on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook, which is under QSimp05 or Quentin Simpson. You go ahead and put me in there. Also follow the Critical Dumps Facebook page, which is at the Critical Dump, as well as on Twitter, which is at the Critical Dump. And also, we want to try to promote our YouTube channel as well. If y'all want to see where the sexy ass voice comes from, or just want to see my sexy physique or whatever y'all want to call it, man, look. Or nah, man, let me stop, because I got homies that watch this shit too. But y'all check out our YouTube channel as well. We do the other show live, and y'all can actually visually see us, and we try to use some visual aids and go over a lot more stories, especially, nowadays it's politics coming up, and it's the biggest thing. And as of right now, I don't really know what's going to happen with this. There's a lot of questions coming around it, because this is actually a point where it seems like you really don't want anyone. It's that moment where you're like, screw it, I'll just go home and I'm going to just be single for a minute until I find that right person. I can't settle for either one. But I will tell anybody who also listens to this, look, also check out, I understand we have Hillary, I understand we got Donald, we understand that they're the ones who are pushed out to us or advertised to us the most, but also check out these other candidates. We do have a couple more other candidates. Gary Johnson, I understand, one thing he does like is he's want to smoke his weed and fuck hoes, and I can get down with that, but other things I'm not too sure on. But I do like Jill Stein as well. I think Jill Stein has a lot of good points that she wants to put out there, a lot of good policies that she would like to put out, and especially when it comes to the student loan debt, because, hey, damn it, I got it, so I'll be all in for that as well. But, that's a story for another day, man. That student loans is something else, man. It's like the mob coming after you. But, I want to say to just everybody, just pay attention to other candidates. We don't have to just settle for these ones that they want to present to us. Especially you got dudes talking about grabbing pussies left and right, and you got another lady who you don't know if she's sketchy or not. I mean, to me, they always say vote for the lesser of two evils, but evil is evil, regardless how you put it. But other than that, also, I actually forgot to mention this earlier. So, I also have to go see, and I understand, I've never really been big on slave movies. I haven't, to this day, I still have never seen Roots, and I know there's a lot of folks who probably going to slaughter me over that one, but I never could bring myself to watch a movie like Roots or Amistad or 12 Years a Slave or anything like that. But I do want to go see Birth of a Nation, and the only reason I say that is because I, for one, never thought I would ever be able to see a Nat Turner movie. Now, of course, I know it's not going to be 100% factual, but it's still the point that you finally get to see a black man in a movie, and he stands up for himself. Now, it's one of those things, and it's like, I know all the stories that came out about it because they want to try to say, oh, it flopped, and it's this, and it's that, and I'm not too sure if I can actually believe all those stories. But then, the next question I would have is, why is that the report that you put out? Because I've never really seen a full report, and maybe somebody else has. I mean, I'm just spitballing this one, but I've never really seen a full-on report that deliberately said, "Hey, this movie flopped." I'm making a clickbait type article to show you that, hey, this movie is not what it is. Now, I don't know if that's just to discourage people from wanting to go pay attention to it because they look at it, well, maybe it's not good because there was this articles written about it. I don't know, but hey, I'm still going to go see it. I'll also, like anybody who is listening to this, hey, man, check out that movie. Damn all the stuff that they tried to say about about the homie Nate Parker, because I do, like I said, assault to anybody is wrong, but if a man is acquitted from it, how can you then still try to hold him against it? Because a lot of people say, oh, he could have just apologized, but I think it's like, apologize for what? Who apologized for something they didn't do? If they said that he did not, now I know some people are like, well, they also said OJ didn't. Hey, in that case, that's what they told him. That's what came up. It's like we can't pick and choose. If we can say that all the cops in the Freddie Gray case were not guilty, then damn it, Nate Parker's not either. That's what I'm gonna say. So anybody who is listening, hey, look, check out the movie. Matter of fact, we're gonna try to talk about more probably later on this week, because I will plan on checking it. If not this week, but it will be this weekend that I will check out that movie, and we will be discussing it. You know, I want to get more in depth on that and what it does for us as a group, because we need a lot more movies like this. And I know, because even then when I watched the Breakfast Club interview, I knew about the Tucson Overture, the guy who led the Haiti revolt. And we already see what's going on with Haiti. Man, Haiti never gets a break. It seems like they always have some type of hurricane that hits them. But then again, a lot of people don't know that it seems as if, because I remember, of course, I can't remember the direct quote, but I remember there was quoting saying, we will never let the foot off of Haiti's neck, because he was one of the first ones to successfully kick out the Europeans out of the country. And that's, to this day, you know, I ask questions like, how come Haiti is always so poor? But across the way, the Dominican Republic is not that bad off. It's the same island, though. But one side is hella poor versus the other. I may be reaching on that one, but it's questions to ask. But also, Luke Cage is an awesome series. I do still need to finish it. I think I'm on like episode 6, but so far, Luke Cage is awesome, man. And I was familiar with Luke Cage from another series, but I never actually read the comics, and it makes me actually want to go back and read up on this character a lot more, because I feel that even that series is very powerful, because it talks about a lot of the things that goes on in society to this day, and I think these are the things that need to be put out there to the forefront. And even the people who sit there and say, oh, it's too black, kiss my ass, man. I never said that about Superman or Batman. Fall back. I still watch. I still like Star Wars. Never said it was too white. So stop it. I was like, stop with the selective outrage. You know, for some reason, I think most of America suffers from this, is being selective with what I want to be mad about. It's like, for instance, even going back to Nate Parker. Nate Parker got off and he was acquitted of sexual assault. We want to berate him and drag him through the mud. And a lot of people are in general. But we also have people who want to come to the defense of Donald Trump. Now, if that's not being selective or being a hypocrite, maybe it may not be the same people, but it's interesting that that's the type of environment that we live in. You know, one side seen as bad, the other side, we got to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I mean, I would just say this, you know, go check out that film. And that is one thing, you know, I do want to say is, you know, we have to learn to support one another and kind of put all the other nonsense to the side. Now, I'm not saying you support everybody, because, you know, in the end, it is about good products and services, which is also why I try to promote those other businesses earlier, because, you know, they are classmates of mine. They are some brothers, and they're trying to do things. And, you know, I feel that they have a good service. I feel they have a good product. So, therefore, I'm going to just say, hey, look, check them out. Patronize them. You know, allow them to be able to continue to build up on their business. And then from there, it becomes a resource. So that's another thing. You know, I think Zoe Williams, and, you know, big ups to Zoe Williams, because I do enjoy a lot of his shows. He's actually one of the people who got me into wanting to do this type of thing, because him and Corey Holcomb, actually. But, you know, we talk a lot about, you know, supporting black businesses and things like that. But another thing, we also have to make sure that we're providing a good product to our people. And, of course, it's not just going to be just for blacks, just overall good products. You know, we just have to be able to produce those things and you know, and also give each other some chances. Because I know with the whole Nate Parker thing, you know, a lot of people don't even know the dude, didn't even know about the story. And like I said, it's been 15 years ago. The man was like 21. It was back in like 2005, 2001. I want to say something like that. So it wasn't a secret. It was public record. But it now comes out when this film comes out, which I'm not trying to dabble in conspiracy theory land, but hey, it raises a lot of questions. But other than that, now I'm finally really going to sign off this time, man. You know, I've been rambling on the mic long enough, but other than that, man, y'all hit me up, man. Y'all get with me. You know, we're going to try to really tailor this to the audience, and eventually I want to probably start doing these things live, so therefore people can actually, you know, communicate while the show is going on, and we can get some dialogue going. Also I'm probably going to look for another female to chime in, because I think it would be a little bit more balanced that way. That way it doesn't seem like we're just ganging up on Misha. You know, it is the homie, but I think we kind of... I think we as the guys, you know, growing up around us, we kind of jaded her a little bit because she thinks a lot like we do. So it's all good, man. So, hey, any female who is on another podcast who wants to chime in from time to time, man, hit me up in the inbox or the comments or my DM on Twitter or Facebook, or you can email us at thecriticaldump.com. At gmail.com. I'm sorry. Other than that, man, y'all be easy. And let me go ahead and take my ass to sleep. Peace.